I mean, it's opening up, here. So hopefully we get to see your show here in the U.S. soon, either your solo band or Crystal Viper.
We would love to. We would love to come to your country, especially because we've never been there, nor as a touring band, and nor as a tourist. And there are actually many places that I would love to see in the USA. And the other thing is that yes, I know that in your country, you actually guys have a lot of shows going on out there, because from what I see on Instagram and on Facebook, on the pages and websites of some of bands that I'm following, they are playing just regular tours and live shows. And here in Europe, it's a little bit better right now than it was, for example, a couple of months ago, but it's still not the same as it was 2 years ago. It's like there are still live shows that are being postponed or canceled completely and so on. And for example, our live show from next month, we were supposed to play a live show in Spain on August, and it's not going to happen. We were supposed to go to Russia on this summer, and we are not going to as well. So,
wow. Sorry to hear that. Very sorry.
Yeah, and actually, our tour has been also postponed 4 times already, and it's going to be a kind of big tour together with Raven and with Swedish Wolf, and it's going to be like 30 live shows or so, and it has been postponed 4 times. It's actually right now it has been rescheduled for the beginning of the next year, but no one knows if it's going to happen, because from one day to another, when I'm reading the news or hearing the news, it seems to look like from September they are going to some lockdowns appear again. So I really don't know what will happen here in Europe within next couple of weeks. We will see.
So let's talk about yourself. You're very talented. You're an awesome talent. You also play guitar. You play bass guitar. I saw you play piano. You were playing a Sabotage song. At what age did you first pick up an instrument? Were you a small girl, or was it at an older age?
I was a kid, and actually it was 2021 is my 13th anniversary in music, actually.
Wow.
Because I'm 37 right now.
Okay.
And when I was 7 years old, I saw a symphonic orchestra on TV, and I told my parents that I want to play, I want to be a musician. And I was very lucky, because my parents treated this dream of a young girl seriously, and the same year they sent me to music school, to piano class. So I started playing piano when I was 7 years old, and it's my main instrument. I still compose most of Crystal Viper songs on my piano, and later on I arrange everything with guitar and bass guitar and so on. I started playing guitar in my mid-20s. Crystal Viper was already a band, touring band. We were recording albums and so on, and I learned to play guitar because when I was composing songs on piano, it was difficult for me to explain to other guys from the band, and especially to guitarists, how to play some riffs that I originally composed on piano. They didn't understand what I have on mind, and it was for me difficult to explain them what I have on mind and so on. So I was like, okay, I will learn to play guitar to show them how to play those songs, or to be able to compose songs from the beginning to the end and so on. And I was learning playing guitar while composing my own songs, actually.
Oh, okay.
And later on, I also learned to play bass guitar, and in the meantime, I became also a guitarist in Crystal Viper. So yeah.
Wow.
I also would love to learn play drums in the future, but I really bear that it will be possible.
It's possible. I'm a musician myself. I play in a couple of local bands here, just local stuff, not professional like you guys, but I play different instruments, and it's a job to sing and play an instrument at the same time. People don't know that. You need like 2 brains for that, right?
Actually, for me at the beginning, it was very difficult
Yeah.
I mean singing and playing guitar, because with singing and playing piano, it was always like totally natural for me, because it was something that I've learned when I was a child. Even when I was a pupil student in the music school, I was playing some classical music, but I was also composing my own songs. I was singing along, with me playing piano and so on. So that was natural for me, and it still is. But when I started playing guitar, it wasn't that easy at the beginning, because guitar was not my first instrument, and I started playing guitar quite late. So, and the other thing is that, to be honest with you, I've never seen myself as a guitarist on stage.
Really?
I always thought, yes, seriously, I've learned playing guitar only to be able to compose songs on the guitar. I didn't want to play in the band. I didn't want to perform on stage, anything like that. And I will tell you how it happened, that actually I play guitar in Crystal Viper. And when I was actually pretty good on the guitar, me and my husband, we bought a new guitar. And at this period of time, we had a recording session in the recording studio with Crystal Viper. And my husband said that we should take this new guitar to the studio to hear how it sounds. Let's plug it to some different amps and let's see what will happen, and so on. And we did that. And that was the very first time when my bandmates have heard me and seen me playing guitar.
Cool.
Because before they were only receiving songs from me, finished tracks, ready songs that they only had to learn to play, and that's it. They have never seen me or heard me playing live. And after they seen me playing guitar in the studio, and that was also a period of time that we were looking for a new guitarist for Crystal Viper, because the previous guitarist had to quit the band because of his job and family stuff. And when my bandmates seen me playing guitar in the studio, they said something like, okay, so we don't need to look for a guitarist any longer, because we have one here. Marta's playing guitar. And I was like, no, guys. I'm not going to play guitar in Crystal Viper. I'm not going to play on stage. Just forget about this. But, they started to convincing me that it makes no sense to look for someone else, to find another new person to the band, and so on. So I promised them that I will try. And
that's cool.
But I cannot promise anything, but I can try, and let's see what will happen. And we played few rehearsals together, and man, it was so weird to me, because I've never played and sang at the same time on the guitar. It was difficult. And the truth is that I had to practice, and I had to learn that. And it was the same with song after song. I was playing all songs for millions of time and singing them until I felt comfortable. And right now, it's natural for me. I've learned how to do that, and I play guitar a little bit better than then. So it's also a bit easier for me to sing and play at the same time. But yes, I had to learn that. It was one of the biggest musical challenge, for me in my entire life. But I've done that. And I am pretty happy that I decided to give it a try. And I'm happy that I play guitar in Crystal Viper, because right now, I cannot imagine myself on stage without guitar.
Really?
Sometimes, because sometimes I feel like that guitar is my superpower. I really don't know. I feel on stage more confident and so on. And some of my friends used to even say that I sing better when I play guitar at the same time.
Okay.
And I've also noticed that. I feel more comfortable on stage with the guitar, and I promise you that you will never see me on stage with Crystal Viper without guitar. Not gonna happen.
you got used to it, yeah.
Yes.
Kinda.
But actually, there was a period of time. It was like 1 year and a half that I didn't play guitar on stage with Crystal Viper because we wanted to try something new. And that was one of the biggest mistakes that I've made with Crystal Viper, that I stopped playing guitar on stage. It was like lying to myself, lying to our audience, lying to our fans, and that was just horrible. I was going on stage, I didn't feel complete. I felt like when I was going off stage, I felt like I didn't give 100%. So it wasn't, I didn't get that satisfaction from performing live without guitar, like I do right now. So
so you're used to it. You got used to it already. So kind of like James Hetfield and Dave Mustaine, that we're used to seeing them with a guitar on stage, us fans, So it looks good on you, It fits the picture. It looks good,
yeah, it feels good, for sure.
So
I really enjoy that. Yeah.
As far as, of course, we all know you're Crystal Viper is you're the front woman and the only woman in the band, of course, right? So nowadays there's a lot more women playing metal and rock than before. Maybe let's say 25 years ago or 20 years ago, there was less women playing rock. So have you gotten any over the years with Crystal Viper? Have you gotten any, let's say, bad vibes or maybe trouble at some gigs because you're a woman playing heavy metal?
No. But even if something like that happened, I probably haven't noticed that because I'm so fixed on, playing live. I'm so focused on music and on some things that I really want to do that I just don't pay attention to any negativity, even if it happens.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also not that kind of a woman who thinks in a way that something treated me bad because I'm a woman. And, because all of us face some nasty situations in life. So even in grocery store, if someone treats me bad, he didn't treat me bad because I'm a woman. He treats me bad because he's an asshole right now, right?
Right.
So I believe it's exactly the same if in music. If someone treats me bad, it's like because he's an asshole, not because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking this kind of a reason of behavior around me. So yeah.
I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong. It's just a question, and I've interviewed several women metal singers and metal women musicians, and some have told me some stories that where there's just haters, I guess, men haters, because the women are playing metal. I don't know why that exists, but hopefully you don't see it. I guess hopefully it's good that you haven't seen that.
Okay, so let me put it that way. I believe something like that happens, and I think something like this happens. It never happened to me, but I think it works in other spheres of life as well. There are some people who hate when a woman is a surgeon, for example. There are some people who don't like women as a politicians, and there are some people who don't like women as a musicians. So this is something that I really don't understand, and nothing like that even happened to me. So maybe I am lucky, or seriously, I don't pay attention to that stuff. But if something like this happens, it just happens in all spheres of life, not only in music.
I was going to ask you a question about working with Andy LaRocque, as I understand, right? How did that feel? Were you, of course you were there, but how did that feel working with such a legend, like Andy LaRocque,
Andy LaRocque co-produced Metal Nation album. It was probably in 2009. It was Metal Nation album, and he co-produced this album together with Gabriel. Bart is my husband in private life.
Uh-huh.
And on the Cult with Crystal Viper, we recorded a cover song from King Diamond, Welcome Home. And Andy LaRocque played a guest solo in this song. So that was amazing. That was amazing. And Andy is a super nice person, and he's such a talented guitarist. And it's a huge honor for us that he agreed to perform this song with us. And I believe that was also kind of interesting for him to perform this song with another band, because he's playing Welcome Home with King Diamond for so many years right now.
Right.
And one day another